With the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mike.
Mr. Zach Beaver.
Present.
Mr. Tim Clayton.
Present.
Mr. David Anderson.
Here.
Miss Amy Blaker.
Here.
Mr. John Dewinski.
Here.
Mr. Nick Bellar.
Here.
Chief Robert Byrd.
Here.
Mr. Tony Clark.
Here.
Mr. Sean Finney.
Here.
Mr. David Austin.
Present.
And I am Michael Lambert. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you, Michael. First up, we have public comment on agenda items. Anybody wishing to speak on an agenda item? Seeing none, we're going to move on to citizens requesting placement on the agenda not related to agenda items. Mr. Roberto Espinoza.
Not here.
I do not see Mr. Espinoza, so we will move on to minutes to be approved.
Mr. President, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the executive meeting of April 28th and the town council meeting of April 28th as well, as presented.
A motion by Tim. Any second?
I'll second it.
Second by Dave. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
I'll abstain since I was absent.
Amy abstains.
Myself as well abstaining.
Amy and John abstaining, and I'm in favor, so motion carries. Staff reports, Nick?
You can see the building department data on the next sheet. I want to let everybody know the Winfield Day Touch a Truck event is coming up this Saturday.
So,
I'm sorry, Tony. I always say Tony's stuff. I'll let Tony. I won't say anything else about it. Tony talk about
That's
it.
fine.
It's one of my favorite events of the year, so
Yeah.
I like to talk about that one.
We talked about it twice.
Don't say anything else. Tony's gonna get upset.
Well,
Just want to know we have been dealing with a lot of water main breaks and kind of various things going on in town here recently. Thank the residents for their patience. It's not fun coming home from work. Seems like these things always happen towards the end of the day, and this is the last thing people want to deal with. But we've been working with American Water on a lot of those, and they've been very responsive and doing the restoration and getting things turned off and turned on and rerouted. We do have a lot of we do have some redundancy worked into town now, so you can kind of turn things off and reroute the water. When I can remember years ago, Tony could probably remember that. If you had a water main break in one specific area of town, it shut off the entire town. We don't really have that anymore, thanks to the water tower and some of the other utility expansion we've had going on. So that is it's nice to have a little redundancy on that type of stuff.
Yep. Yeah, definitely minimize the pain a little bit. I mean, as much as we reasonably can.
Yeah, I mean, some people are affected just
Right.
because they're between the valves, so
Right.
you can't work around them. But
Including John recently.
it's gotten a lot better over the years. That's my report.
Very good. Thank you. Tony?
yes.
Time to shine.
We are getting ready for our Touch a Truck event this weekend. Monica's done a great job of putting it all together. We're going to do one more events meeting tomorrow at 10 o'clock to go over the final touches on it. Our guys have been working to get everything cleaned up, ready to go, painted and everything. Firstly, we're bringing our street sweeper, our loader, and the John Deere that has that big mower on it. Those are the three things that we are bringing. But there's quite a few, 21 vendors? 22 vendors that are coming out. So it should be a good event. There's food, things out there also for this event. Next, the Trees Park renovation. We've got all the equipment out. We just have to finish doing the groundwork and getting those black barricades out of there so that we can get, you guys maybe see in the PO that we have people to install it, put the pour and play in place. So as soon as I get the rest of that out of there, I'll be working with Wendy and to get it scheduled to where we can start working on that. just get it all the equipment put back out there, you know, that we have already purchased. So that should be done, hopefully, I'm hoping by August. I mean, it's not a fast thing, cause these guys that do this are specialty people, and it takes them a while to lay everything out. So, I'm hoping to have it done by August. And then, like I talked about in the previous meetings, I'm looking to get quotes to get the stormwater piping per the MS4 standards put in place. I should have them by the next meeting. I'm also looking to do asphalt around the Public Works building and down to 112th Avenue. And I'd like everybody, if we could all participate in that, that would be great. And I should have quotes for that by our next meeting also. So I'll hopefully get it to you guys before the meeting so that you guys have time to review it. And then we'll go from there. That's about it.
Very good. Thank you, Tony. Chief Byrd.
Lots going on this week as far as public safety goes for, not this week, but the past month. For everyone in public safety, we had the 911 Dispatcher Week, which is the second week of April. May 4th is National Firefighters Day. EMS, National EMS Week was May 17th through the 23rd, and we just wrapped up our National Law Enforcement Memorial Week, where the Winfield Police participated with the Indiana State Police, their goal post at their annual memorial service. And then coming up here, real quick next month, first part of next month, is they're gonna dedicate a portion of US 30 in memorial to Officer Bill Patterson, who was killed at the intersection of US 30 and Randolph Street when he was struck and killed by juveniles in a stolen vehicle fleeing a juvenile detention center. So we're looking forward to that as well. We participated in the Cop on a Roof. You know, it sounds funny about having cops around donut shops. That was one of our jokes, but nevertheless, we did it for the Special Olympics. And we were one of 50 police departments around the state of Indiana. And I think we came in number 8 across the, for cash, yeah, where we raised $2,300. And the Special Olympics folks were there with us, participating in that. And a huge thank you to the residents of Winfield for their kind generosity in contributing the money that they did. We had officers at the drive-through lane and at the entrance to the shop, and it was fun engaging with them and seeing them again because we saw them last year as well. So it was a great day for a good cause. And then last but not least, we've been seeing as you would expect with summertime, an explosion of e-bike issues. Lots of youngsters. Over the weekend, we stopped a mom and her 2 young kids in the intersection of 109th and Randolph, and just a few minutes ago, we had to stop a young man that was just flying down Randolph Street past here without any helmet on or any due regard for his safety. So we're addressing that in anticipation of a potential ordinance for the town of Winfield regarding e-bikes. And we know that's the buzz thing going on right now throughout the country, actually, but particularly here in Northwest Indiana, where Hobart, and Sherrville, and Valparaiso, and Griffith, everybody's drawing up their ordinances to make the community safe, to avoid any horrible catastrophic injuries or fatalities, because they're happening, and we don't want to see that here in Winfield. So hopefully we'll have some discussion about that a little bit later on here.
That is item 9, I believe.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Lakes of Four Seasons Fire. Sir?
Texted me, he was planning on being here, but he was up at that one, so he's ready to go out.
Okay. Do you have an update you want to give us, or? Okay, we'll catch up with him. Thank you. Unfinished deferred business, update on 2025 CCMG road projects.
Milestone wrapped up the last couple outstanding irrigation issues, so those are now complete, and we're moving forward with closing out the project later in the meeting. And then in the next month, I'll get everything closed out with NDOT.
Very good. And so they've all been pressure tested
Yep.
and all, okay.
Pressure
perfect.
tests all of them, they were like the first week of May.
Okay.
They wrapped them all up and pressure tested.
Very good. Thank you. On to new business, consideration of favorable recommendation from the planning commission for Copperstone.
Good evening, I'm Todd Altoff with Altoff Homes, and we are pleased to present tonight our newest community, Copperstone, located on the corner of Gibson and 117th Streets. It's a active lifestyle, multi-generational community. It will have 3 product lines. There are 2 product lines that we've created just for Winfield. We designed it with a California Napa Valley themed architecture for 2 of the product lines, and we incorporated some of those same themes into the existing product line. And we're really excited about it. We believe it'll be a signature community here in Winfield. And Ed's going to talk a little bit more about it here in a minute, but some of the amenities we are including are pickleball, a putting green, we've got walking trails, parks with park equipment, gazebos. That's a pretty robust amenity package. So we're pretty excited about it. And with that, I'll turn it over to Ed, and Ed can talk a little bit more about what we're going to do.
Good evening, Council. I'm Rick DeMol with Old Toff Homes. So as Todd mentioned, we are trying our best to create a lifestyle type community. We feel we have accomplished that through the project that's up here on the screen. In the packets that I handed out, you have a concept plan and the primary plat. Primary plat was acted on a few weeks ago at the Planning Commission, approved with some minor contingencies for engineering, which we've addressed already and resubmitted. Tonight our request is for zone change from ag to PDR. For those of you that are not familiar with this project and property, the property itself is located at the southeast corner of 117th and Gibson. It's at approximately 122 acres. It has a few unique features to it. It has a wetland on it, which we will be preserving. There's about 4.5 acres of wetland that we are preserving with this project. The old Norfolk Southern Railroad bed also runs it through the property, kind of bisects it from the northwest to the southeast in the middle of it. And then we also have a few pipelines and some easements that run in parallel with that corridor. That corridor itself will eventually be a trail corridor for the town. We're dedicating a pathway easement and a trailhead easement on the project for that future trail. But the property, again, is 122 acres. We are proposing all single-family style homes. The majority of the homes on the site are single-family detached. There's about 135 single-family detached homes on there that constitute about 40% of the project. And then we're offering 2 other product styles. They are both single-family attached product styles. They were created with Winfield specifically in mind. They'll be the first of its kind from our company built here in the area. And they are townhome style properties or homes. One is a 2-story, 2-car, front-loaded home. We're targeting kind of young professionals with those type of properties. And then secondly, we have a ranch style attached house. Right there's the ranch. We call it the Napa Collection. We are targeting active adults primarily with this type of unit. They're all single-story ranches. They range in square footages. They're front-forward living, so we have bedrooms on the front side and on the back side, so a lot of windows, allows a lot of light in. Again, everything is themed. We've decided to pick out the Northern California kind of wine country theme, so we're using darker colors. You can see that in the trims and the roofs and the windows. We also have kind of the masonry that complements those dark windows as well, or dark features as well. So that is the, again, single-story ranch, Napa Collection. The next one, if Nick can keep scrolling.
Do you want to do the 2-story?
Is the 2-story Sonoma Collection. So that's a 2-story, 2-car townhome. And again, dark themes, dark windows, high roof lines, accent roof lines. So again, kind of targeting the young professional home buyer, trying to get some young families perhaps into the Winfield community, or providing relocation opportunities for people that are also in Winfield, especially maybe some of the active adults who have a single-family home and want to move into something that's a little more maintenance-free with that Napa collection. So those are the two attached home styles that we're offering on this property. I don't know if you can flip back to the concept plan, Nick. So the single-family, standard single-family lots are primarily in the north and west section of the site. You can kind of identify those with the, I guess that's a yellowish color. The Sonoma collection that I just talked about is on the eastern side of the property, just east of lot 105 there on the concept plan. And then the south portion south of the trail system would be the Napa collection. So primarily single, all the ranch style homes for the active adults. As Todd alluded to, again, we're trying to make this a very unique community or subdivision within Winfield. So we've provided amenities for the different demographics that we believe will be living in this community. In the single family section, we have a playground. In the kind of single family and centralized location, we feel a pickleball court and a championship style putting green would really speak to almost all the residents that are living there. And then on the south section, we're providing kind of more gathering space for those active adults with a fire pit and kind of shelter area where they can hang out, you know, have a glass of wine or whatever at night. So those are some of the features we have included. Other than that, we have some other uniqueness to the property. Normally when you see a single family kind of attached style product, you'll see it kind of blocked out in the land plan. With the PDR request, we were able to get a lot of movement within each of those home styles. So for instance, on the south side here, you can see how the street is kind of undulating through the site. We did that with intentions to allow kind of the units to sit off of the public roadway, so they're all kind of in a courtyard configuration. It allows us to have more movement in the building, so it's not just all linear and blocked out like you would normally see in an attached style plan community. This allows each of those units to kind of have open space out of their front doors, so each one kind of has its own courtyard and green space that they can walk out to on top of the green space that they have in their backyards. The northeast section where the Sonoma, the two-story units are, we did the same type of thing. We tried to get them off of the main roads to the best of our abilities and provide them in their own kind of cul-de-sac courtyard areas. Again, providing green space out the front, providing more boulevard-esque type roads. So we're able to heavily landscape the streetscapes to help draw your eye potentially away from sides of lots or homes and kind of keep that landscaping more in the forefront than the home itself. Not that we don't think these are beautiful homes, but it just kind of creates more of a boulevard type feel within the project. Then finally, I guess what I will speak to is the exterior road improvements. So we are contributing to the roundabout at 113th or 117th and Gibson. And then we will also be widening and providing improvements to the rest of 117th and Gibson to expand those into the collector street standard that they were called for in the town thoroughfare plan. That will also include an 8-foot pathway around the perimeter of the property, so it will provide even more connectivity throughout town for people to get from south, basically from Taft, basically now they can go north pretty much all the way up to 109th if they wanted to. So with that, again, I'd be happy to answer any questions, take any comments, provide any more specifics if necessary. But we're, again, really excited about this one. I don't know if I mentioned this, but we received a favorable recommendation from the Plan Commission. Our engineering should be in order at this point. We addressed those final comments, though they were just submitted today, but we think we're in a good spot.
Well, Plan Commission was unanimous.
It was a unanimous, yeah.
Yeah, so all we're voting on is a zone change. That's it. So I'll make a motion that we we approve or for the favorable recommendation for the plan commission for docket PC 2026-03, some change from ag to PDR. Ordinance number 393.
This is an adoption of an ordinance,
Oh, adopt.
single reading.
Yep, adopt.
A motion by Dave, and I'll second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed?
I oppose.
The motion carries. One comment I would add is, I appreciate the work you guys have put in. I know this has been around and around, and there's been kind of a lot of, this is the hot button thing is affordable housing and all this this is a buzzword, especially in Indianapolis. We've dealt with that a lot the last year or so. And so I appreciate all the work you guys have put in to help not only bring the project to town, but also just working with us and making sure it's something that's gonna fit. Because I think one of the things we're trying to do, and the planning commission specifically, is being really deliberate about what does get approved and what things look like, and making sure that we have to kind of honor, the fact that you own land. At the same time, we need to balance that with the needs of the community and what they expect to see and what the trends are and all those things. And you guys have been great as far as the back and forth and patience and, a whole new line and everything and all the feedback from the planning commission and everybody. So we appreciate you guys really engaging with us instead of kind of getting frustrated. I know it can be a frustrating process, but it's been great working with you guys, so we appreciate that.
It's appreciated on both sides, we wanted to bring a project that, again, a lifestyle type community into Winfield, and it was great working with all the different commissions and the individuals, and we're looking forward to get started, so we appreciate it.
How many different plan commission meetings did you guys, were you guys at?
Oh, I've lost count, I don't know.
Give me a count. Guesstimate.
It's probably six.
Well, it was over a year. Probably.
Minimum.
Over a year.
A minimum of 6
Yeah.
over a year. Okay.
But we're, again, we're happy to do it. We received a lot of back and forth, it was good iterative process, so it worked out for us.
And it feels that way too. It feels like when you guys were getting some of the feedback, whether it's from the council members or the planning commission, that it was actually listened to, you took it back, tried to figure out what's gonna work. Because it's not gonna always be exactly what we necessarily want or what you necessarily want. It's all the give and take. And so having that relationship is a good thing. And I think you guys, your project over here on 117th already, I think that it was a similar experience, and it's just gotten a little bit better, and so we appreciate the relationship.
Yeah, I sit on the plan commission and I wasn't here for that meeting. I was away. But this has been a give and take. I think we've taken more from you guys than, or you guys have given, however you want to say it. So, thank you for the work on it. Thank you for the understanding of what Winfield is looking for. We said to give us something unique. This is unique. We told you to go less dense than the original plan. I know this original plan was a lot more dense, I'll say. So sorry that's money out of your pocket, but it's also people around here. We have to listen to what the residents say. I know that we can say no to everything. But then I'm spending money in another way in courts to get, instead of actually being more sensible with it. So, thank you guys for, going back and forth and understanding that, this is a business for you guys, but this is also a business for as the town, because our business is listening to what our residents say, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're all set.
Thanks.
All right, item number 2, recommendation from the planning commission relating to Lifewell Church performance bond.
Yeah, the church project is complete, so the performance bond can be released and the maintenance bond needs to be established. And that would be for 15% of the total value of the improvements, which is $40,622.34.
I do have a comment on this one. Say that number again.
$40,622.34.
But that's good.
Are we good? Yeah, we're good. Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the recommendation for the Plan Commission for
for Life World Church performance bond release and maintenance bond establishment in the amount of $40,622.34.
Second.
We have a motion by Tim and a second by John. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Recommendation, item number 3, recommendation from the Planning Commission for Winfield Commons performance bond.
Same thing on this one, the punch list items have been corrected and it's complete, so the performance bond can be released, the maintenance bond needs to be established for 15% of the total value of the improvements, which is $56,924.59.
Mr. President, I'd like to accept the recommendation from the Plan Commission for the Winfield Commons Performance Bond Release and Maintenance Bond Establishment to the amount of $56,924.59.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Tim and a second by John. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, recommendation from the Planning Commission, Estates of Winbrook, Phase 2 performance bond reduction.
All the underground stuff out there has been completed, so they're asking for a reduction. And the amount left of the improvements is $297,807.95.
And you've walked us and
Yeah,
everything
that
else.
was my
Yeah,
question.
it's pretty much all the above ground stuff's what's left.
Yeah.
The street, the curb, sidewalk, all that, but all the underground improvements for the phase 2.
Okay.
Good.
Make a motion that we,
You
what?
wanna, or, okay, never mind. I think you're good.
What? I was just gonna make a motion that we accept the Plan Commission recommendation to, reduce the performance bond down to $297,807.95.
I'll second that.
All right.
Need a vote?
We have a motion, we have a motion by Dave and a second by Tim.
Yes, correct.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And Dave, you're abstaining, or?
I'm good, I
Okay.
can vote.
All right, just making sure. Motion carries. Consideration of maintenance, item number 5, consideration of maintenance bond release for Clover Grove.
They still have an outstanding item, at least,
What do they have?
curb ramp they got fixed.
There's a curb ramp on Clover Grove? I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's how Ed's still here.
Am I allowed to speak?
Yes.
Yes,
I
please.
was wondering why you were still
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, stick around. So we addressed 99% of the punch list items. We have one curb ramp that was at 2.5% instead of 2. It's already torn out. We're getting ready to report it this week. If anything, I guess we'd be looking maybe just set an expiration date on this with an approval to release with maybe just a minor contingency. Otherwise,
That's
That's
reasonable. That's reasonable.
acceptable.
Contingent upon the curb ramp being installed.
Okay.
That's fine. And once it's done, Ed can notify staff. We can go look at it.
Okay.
Sean can go and throw a smart level on it.
Yep.
And then we'll release it.
Okay, so next week or 2.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
thank you.
So what we're looking for is the release of the Clover Grove bond contingent that the ramp is compliant.
Fixed, yep.
Okay. I'll make a motion to release the maintenance bond for Clover Grove and contingent that the ramp is compliant to staff standards, to ADA standards, but approved by staff and engineering.
We have a motion by Tim,
I'll second that.
second by John. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6, consideration of engagement with Bose Public Affairs Group. I'll take this one. This is a continue for the last 2 years. The town has contracted with Bose to represent us in various legislative matters in Indianapolis and kind of throughout the region to not only monitor legislation, but also make sure that we are that we're protecting kind of the interests of the town and on top of the things that we should be on top of, especially with a lot of the changes in the legislation and the activity with the state legislature. So this is just looking to continue that relationship into 26 and 27.
Mr. President, I would strongly recommend you do this. This is really important for the town.
Very good. I agree with you. It's been very effective lately, you know, I mean, it's been good to have kind of the people down in the State House monitoring and helping keep us on track, but also making sure that we're representing our residents fully, which is what they expect. Thank you. So I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the engagement letter with Bose Public Affairs Group for 2026 to 2027.
We have a motion by Tim
I'll second.
and a second by Dave. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, consideration of change order number 2, Milestone Contractors 2025 CCMG.
This is the final balancing change order of all the quantities for the project. And then it also extends the ready for final payment date through today to get this off the books. And this actually decreases the overall contract cost by $352,400.94.
Said decrease, right?
Decrease.
That's rare, but we like to hear that.
Yeah, and we underran, and we had some items in there that ended up not having to be used.
Okay.
Does that mean our engineer's estimate was off?
Means we added some items in there in case we needed them and they didn't need to be used.
Okay.
Contingency stuff.
All right, Sean, I suppose.
Okay.
In case we ran into bad soils underneath.
Right. Well, we had all the dewatering issues
Yeah.
on 117.
We've had to use
so,
them.
Yeah,
Before.
Yeah.
So
very good. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to pay change order number 2 or to accept change order number 2 Milestone Contractors 2025 CCMG road projects decrease of $352,494.
Second.
Motion by Tim and a second by John. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8, consideration of release of retainage Milestone Contractors 2025 CCMG.
project's all complete, so the retainage can be released for $142,037.13.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Make that motion to release the retainage of Milestone Contractors 2025 CCMG road projects in the amount of $142,037.13.
Motion by Tim,
I just have a question. So the change order to date,
Make the motion.
well, but can I answer my question before the motion?
I'll second it. John can
Now I have a
answer.
question.
You can ask it.
second
Okay.
by Dave. Any discussion?
Yes, my question is, you have change order status to date, $350,038, but we just made a change order for $352,000 in credit. They don't line up. Unless I'm seeing something wrong.
Yeah,
Their math is wrong.
the
Your math is
352,
right?
352 is correct.
Oh, they didn't have, the change order number 1's not in here, because they've got the original contract amount is $1,772,772. If you look on change order number 2, we had an increase from change order number 1 of $2,362.80, which made the contract price prior to change order number 2 at $1,775,134.80. So that's why there's a change order number 1 that is not shown on their release. But that amount is the correct amount for the
And
retainage.
that total is 352, so that is correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Okay. Any more discussion?
Nope, thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9, consideration of ordinance 394, e-bike regulations.
I'll take this one,
There you
and
go,
then I'll
sir.
Where's this at?
Chief, take this to Chief Byrd. So, as he alluded to in his previous statement, you know, we've had a lot of issues with the e-bikes in and around as summertime has come. I'm sure every one of us sitting in this room have seen them whipping around various places. Also, Valpo just passed theirs. All the cities and towns are getting items on the books so that they can be enforced. And this is similar to all the other e-bike ordinances that are out there. So that gives our police the ability to stop, pull people over, issue tickets, various other things of note. And Nick, let me know if I'm wrong on this. The one thing that is a bit different is that we're asking for, and at least I thought we were asking for 16 and older. Yeah, and so that's the little bit of a difference, because these are not bicycles. These are fast-moving vehicles, and some of the ones that are even beyond the bicycles, like I know there's one in my neighborhood, and I'm sure Chief Bird's seen it as well. I mean, these things can be souped up to 40, 50 miles an hour. They're essentially dirt bikes, unlicensed dirt bikes. So again, we don't have anything on the books for it. This ordinance gives us the ability to enforce those things. And that's, so Chief Bird, anything else you want to add to that? Or to your previous statement?
No, it's, the time has come where we have to formalize the enforcement actions that we need from all of you on the town council to permit the police to go out and enact these actions against violators.
So again, very similar to others that, other ordinances that others have passed. Like I said, the one distinction here is we're asking for those type, those bikes to be licensed. That's it. Questions?
Will this be a 2-reading ordinance?
It is.
Yep, and I would suggest that we pass it this time, in both readings, so that way Chief has now the authority to issue tickets, other things, etc.
Do we have a fee table for this? For tickets for this?
It would just fall under the standard ordinance violation, and traffic violation stuff that Bob does. There's no separate, in my research, there are separate ways to do it, or you can just kind of ball it into the regular town stuff.
So do we know what the ticket cost is for a 16-year-old, 15-year-old driving one of these?
Whatever the standard.
We don't know that, do we?
We don't, that will have to
So
be determined by the council what that fee schedule would be like.
Yeah, because this is the first time I'm seeing this, so without seeing anything else in that, I have a hard time with that. Is that something that can be done and get done in between first and second reading? Because I will not vote for a second reading tonight. I will tell you that much right now, so it's, because without seeing it, I can vote maybe on a first reading, but if we want to pass this and push it through, I cannot push it through without having any of that information in front of me, or even, I don't want to blindside anybody. I'd rather have them give them the time and then let them have the floor to talk for or against it, even between it. So that's what I'm looking at on this, so.
Where do you want a fee schedule?
I need a fee schedule, I need
So
that,
what's a
and then-
ticket?
so I can't.
What's an unlicensed driver?
Pardon me?
What if you were to issue a ticket?
So Dave, even if we do that right now, I'll still not vote on
Fine.
second reading tonight.
So so an unlicensed driver, so a 15-year-old driving a car, what would the ticket be? That's no different than this.
These would be under local ordinance, not through the county's
Yeah.
violation bureau. There's a difference there. We have to look at what the current ordinance violations are that we have in place and do comparisons. The first part of it's gonna be a total educational period where we're gonna stop and provide warnings. And it's the repeated flagrant violators is who we're gonna issue the citations to, hold their parents accountable,
Yep.
and impound these devices if we have to.
Correct. So that's the plan.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hold it up, I understand safety, and I
We
do
can have
respect, I
something
do
for you
respect
by
that.
the next reading.
By the next reading, yes, if we can have that information, that would be great to be able to educate us and everybody else around, so. Because that's part of the process, it's not just a jump on people, it's also to educate them in this, so. Alright,
Well, I'll make a motion for the first reading then, for us to consider, I'll make a motion to approve consideration of ordinance number 394, e-bike regulations, first reading.
Motion by Dave. I'll make the second. And open up to discussion. The one thing I'll say, leading off discussion, I agree the fee schedule. I think it's important to note, this is not dissimilar from how dirt bikes or ATVs are currently treated. The big difference, I think, is
classification.
state statute, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, but my understanding is state statute more or less governs how motorized vehicles are driven, but they have not caught up to e-bikes, which has forced a lot of municipalities to have to take action because it's already impacting us without the state legislature doing anything. And so these ordinances will now allow us to take local action despite, because especially in Dave's example, if you're driving a vehicle with no driver's license, that's a misdemeanor criminal, potentially a misdemeanor criminal offense for knowingly driving without a license, which would not necessarily apply to an e-bike, which we also would not necessarily do under town ordinance. So we're trying to find that balance of how do we regulate these safely until the state legislature either chimes in or supersedes us. And I just was reading yesterday, there was a 13-year-old killed, and I can't remember exactly where, I should know, but now his mom has started a charity and she's raising awareness for this kind of stuff because from her perspective, it was kind of one of these things, well, nobody told us these are dangerous and it's 50 miles an hour and the kids are, blowing through intersections and that kind of stuff. And so you hate to overregulate, but at the same time, you got to make sure that there are some guardrails, especially with the lack of any kind of legislation from Indy. We need to make sure we're at least managing what we have in town. And it's clearly a problem. It was a problem, 30 minutes ago out here earlier. So, and I think I probably said that in several other meetings. So it's
only a matter of time before
Yes.
a kid's going down 109th, gets hit by a car.
Right.
The next thing you know, the parents are sitting out here yelling at us, why didn't we
Right.
do anything?
Exactly. And there's some, there's commentary, I think it's worthwhile that there's an onus on the parents to be,
Correct.
Managing their children, but at the same time, there is some responsibility for us to make sure that we at least have the guardrails in place to make sure that it's safe. And if you're outside the guardrails, then, we can have the officers take enforcement if needed.
What I don't want to see is what happened in Arlington Heights last year. 14-year-old blew through a stop sign, got T-boned by a car, instantly killed.
Yep.
You're 13-year-old. You're going to be reading more and more about these things. So part of it is definitely we need something on the books for enforcement. To your point, Zach, the state hasn't caught up yet.
Right.
These are not bicycles in the sense that we all grew up with bicycles. These things flat out fly.
Yep.
And by the way, they can be modified. And
I was just on an e-bike last week, and it was not a motorized electric e-bike, it was a low-speed electric device. And I got that thing over 20 miles an hour.
Oh, the top speed of 2 and 3 class e-bikes are near 30.
I know,
And
but
then the
I'm looking
class
at a
3 can be.
classification of it, so I can get a regular e-bike up to 23, 24 miles an hour.
And then.
So, and that's just a pedal assisted. That's
Yeah.
pedal assisted,
Right.
so we're classifying that, so now they should wear a helmet no matter what.
Oh,
But now
yeah.
we're gonna require them to be over 16 for one of those?
I said on a class 3.
Okay,
Class 3s are essentially dirt bikes.
I understand, so,
There's also a restriction in this on certain streets in town, you just can't do it.
Yeah.
And there's a list
Randolph.
of Randolph.
100%
Ones you
agree
would
with that.
imagine.
Right.
Yes, 100% agree with that.
So there's a balancing act we're trying to figure out in the meantime, so that's all I had to say about it.
Yeah, I
Any
think
other
it's-
discussion?
I think it's great.
Yeah, and I
My
appreciate, Chief, I appreciate your work, and Dave, I appreciate you kind of spearheading all this stuff. to
My
make sure-
purpose was to get it out here so we could discuss, get it on the
Perfect,
books,
yeah.
get it going, so that way it's before you know it, it's gonna be into summer, into winter, and it'll be a problem
Right.
next year.
Right.
Again, it's not going anywhere.
Yep.
It's gonna get worse.
Well, and same thing, sorry, one more thing, and I'll just stop. But it was the same thing with mopeds. I don't know if, in the early 2000s, the same situation with mopeds. They weren't plated, they weren't regulated by
Yeah.
the state. It was just this kind of chaos situation, and we're revisiting that now. And it's good that I think we're trying to be proactive. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Anybody wishing to speak on anything? Sir, if you would go up, say your name and address, please.
Good evening. Chris Corcoran, 6744 Deer Creek Court in Winfield. I clearly neglected to request placement on the agenda in advance. Like, this is my first time here, so that's why I'm doing it, public comment. So I apologize. I'll do better next time. I've been asked by the Deer Creek Estates HOA and some neighbors to ask the council for some input and potential guidance on an ongoing home build in our neighborhood that's receiving more and more complaints and negativeness because it's been sitting incomplete for so long. The address is 11132 Deer Creek Drive, and I'm reading some notes here. I want to make sure I get this right. Over the last 4 to 5 years or so, there have been 3 different builders at this home site that have all run into various issues for various circumstances. The home had started and stopped construction twice, and the third time, which is right now, the current builder inherited some new problems, like there was a lien associated with the property, caused some financing issues and other things. The current construction now began in fall of 2025 and has stalled again at the framing stage, and besides becoming an ongoing eyesore, there's been a lot of concern on the structure itself. It's just been sitting exposed with partial framing, the concrete foundation. I'm sure that it's already been inspected because the builder has a building permit from the town. But those are just some concerns that have been pointed out. Our HOA management company has been in contact with the town's building admin team. Our HOA governing documents are pretty limited in addressing construction expectations, timelines, standards, things like that. So we've been told that there's nothing within the HOA's governing authority to really do anything to push this through. We've been told there's nothing in the town's regulatory scope that can accelerate the pace of construction. My questions are, have you ever seen any homes in an HOA in town before that have been in a circumstance like this where it's been on and off, start and stop, and there's just been constant complaints from residents because it's become an eyesore? And whether you have or not, do you have any recommendations on what we could do to address this, or are we stuck until the builder has the permit expire or decides to sell it and move on? We're just looking for some general input, general guidance.
We don't see that very often. It's fairly infrequent because there's a time clock associated with your permit once you pull it, but Nick may have
And
better
also apply
background.
for permit extensions.
Mhm.
Wait, I don't know the specific, this specific case, but I know for some of the larger homes in town that get constructed, they do take 2 years to build
Right.
sometimes. So your initial permit period is for a year, and then you can, I think it's 6-month extensions. Don't quote me on that. There's an ability to extend for a shorter period of time to finish up stuff. To your point, I've been here 12 years now. I've never seen this issue on any kind of start, stop, bankruptcy, all the kind of issues that we've had with this property.
Are you familiar with the property I'm referring to?
That you're describing it, I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I think that's why it's getting so much attention, because the previous builders weren't associated with this one, and it's been that.
I can look into it and find out what's going on, and then, we can check to see if there's any sort of safety violations going on from a code enforcement side. There is a expectation of safety.
Right.
When something is, you don't see an open pit in the ground for years.
A year, yeah.
Eventually they put the floor on,
Right.
and they get it under a roof. Usually, in my experience, is a builder will kind of rush through the framing, get the roof on it, and then things will start to slow down. You don't really see it start to slow down at this phase before the roof's on, because to Chris's point,
Exactly.
the weathering, you
Yes.
want the roof on it.
Yes.
So I could have staff look into it. I'll get with code enforcement, and I'll get with some of our building inspectors and kind of dig into it a little more. I generally know about it, but not real specifically, but I can find out more.
Okay.
Yeah, we appreciate
That
that.
sounds good.
Thank you.
We'll do.
Thank
You you guys will interface with that.
Yeah, for sure.
No problem.
Next time I'll have something that's not a complaint. More
Hey,
positive
no,
to talk
it's
about.
it's important stuff. I mean, like you said, the safety side of it especially, and you don't want an eyesore. You don't want this thing just sitting out here forever and everybody has to look at it.
Exactly.
And it's a nice neighborhood too. No, definitely appreciate bringing it up.
Yep, thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anybody else wishing to speak on anything? Seeing none, treasurer's report, Mike?
This evening, for your review, consideration, and approval, there's 135 claims for a total of $328,108.93.
I'd like to make the motion, we pay the claims in the amount of $328,108.93.
Second.
We have a motion by John and a second by Tim. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Our next council meeting will be Tuesday, June 23rd at 7 PM. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
And John.